What is going on, guys? Welcome to Double Tap. This is Mash Those Buttons podcast dedicated to everything and anything in the fighting game community. I am, of course, your host, Crash, and with me, we got the full stack, the full crew. We've got a special episode today. Got Mezza in the building.
Hello,
what's up, sir?
Hello.
And of course, we got Static G also on deck to talk shop. What's up, sir?
Hello. You kind of dark there. What's going on? You disappearing on us?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Where's your lighting?
Bring up my lighting's here. I can't tell. Everything's dark to me.
That's okay.
Because I wear shades on the inside. I have problems.
You're a world traveler. That's okay.
Exactly. Thank you for that. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome to Double Tap podcast to everything and anything in the fighting game community. We're back. We've had a little bit of a break since Evo. We had a scheduled break, and we're coming back a little longer than it was expected, but we're coming into it, and we're coming into it with a very special episode this week, episode 414. This is the 2XKO episode. We're going to be actually basically giving our review thoughts on the game. It's been out now in the closed beta for quite some time. I think like 2 weeks now, a little over 2 weeks, I want to say, and we're getting that much closer to the open, the early access that's going to be coming up October 7th. So we're going to get into some of the details of what we like, we don't like, we want to ask what you guys have also been enjoying about the game. Well, maybe want to see some changes in the future. Make sure to follow Double Tap at Double Tap FGC on all social medias as well as on YouTube to get more into our questions of the weeks and our polls that we going on in this episode. But let's jump right into it. All right, so let's talk shop. So 2X has been out for quite a minute. I'm moving forward, bro. I'm just going to keep calling it 2X. I cannot do 2XKO. That's just too many syllables still. The name, for one thing, has not grown on me. We're going to state anything. The name still hasn't grown on me. I'm just going to call it 2X. Internally, I still call it 2X. Nobody at Riot seems to have been correcting me, so I'm just going to keep going with it. So 2X has been out now for a couple of weeks. We've had some tournaments. We've had plenty of lab time. We've had an additional character, right, with Blitzcrank being added to the mix. Now we have a true blue grappler in there with some really nasty restands and combos. And everybody that was able to get in. Now we're having tech being blown out of proportions right now. Touch of deaths, Juggernaut being maybe told that it's OP, not OP, depending on who you're talking to. But let's get into how we're feeling about the game, because some of us here have also been just running tournaments, right? Some of us here have been competing kind of hard, going hard in the paint, as it were. More specifically talking about Mezza. I mean, I don't know, Gabe, have you been going into any tournaments for 2X? I feel like I haven't seen you like really jump in.
Well, you saw me the first week, but I've been going to the lab as well. I've been getting how pretty. Let me see. I don't remember who I lost to per se. Oh, we had a round robin last week, so that was a little rough. I did play everyone. I think I gave up to Mezza because I had already lost. But George seems to be the one that's taking it all with his, is it Braum Jinx?
Nope, Jinx Darius. Very strong.
Jinx Darius, I'm
that's the one.
I haven't seen a Braum anywhere really like that.
So funny enough, Chris G did win Roundhouse, spoiler alert, sorry. He won Roundhouse mostly with Ari and Jinx, but he finished the last match with Braum Jinx.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. So the game, like, it's making its way, it's making its rounds. I've been enjoying it for quite some time now. My exposure, I'll say it's not limited. Unfortunately, I had a work trip like in the midst of things, so it was a little bit limited in the sense of like my time. But when I do get to play it's still fun. It's frustrating because there, I think, are some things that need to be addressed.
Of course.
But overall, I think the game is fun. I think the characters. Let's go through the characters real quick. I think character archetype, I think we can agree, is solid.
Yeah.
Each one is bringing, it's their own kind of flavor and style to the game, right? Riot was they were very precise in making sure no two characters really play the same, because, unfortunately, it's still a bit of a short roster, right? So it's like, it's kind of hard. Like, if you have duplicates already on like single-digit roster right now, I mean, 10 is going to be the magic number, which is going to be happening in the early access. With Teemo, by the way, being announced and shown off now as being the 10th character, and still just as diverse and unique, I feel like they nailed that, which is great. Even at a small sample level, you can easily, have that. Like, you can look even like Street Fighter 2 and be like, well, you had a Ryu and Ken.
Yeah.
Right? You technically had duplicate characters even back then.
But he has a fire uppercut. Yeah.
It
didn't really change until after, like, I don't know. What is it? Super?
I think it had to be hyper or super. Maybe? Yeah. One of the two. But not in this case. I mean, for a tag fighter, also very, very important because you know who wants to just play the same two characters? Like, it's not really exactly fun to the core of a tag fighter. But I think that's been nailed. Like, I think it's just whether or not you see those characters in the field as much is one thing, but they do exist, right? All it takes is for someone to come up with some tech that someone is going to then take to tournament or take it online, and then people are going to jump on because maybe it's really cheap. Then you'll see like character stocks kind of fluctuating. But how about you guys? Are you guys, besides the top tiers, what's considered top tiers are like the characters like Yasuo's that are fucking everywhere. Sorry, Gabe. That like as soon as you get comboed, you want to get up and make a sandwich because it takes fucking forever. How are you guys feeling about the character archetype and really the different styles that you can actually play with right now?
I think we're all kind of like in the same boat where we feel like there's not enough zoners. Like, it's just really what it is. I mean, of course, with the additional one coming out, technically, I guess, it feels good. For me, at least, it feels good. But I do see that people are gravitating to a particular style right now, and I think that's kind of, no matter what people say, they're going to sit here and say, "Oh, there's no such thing as a meta." Blah blah blah. There's no meta. It's too early. Shut up. There's a meta, and currently the meta has shifted like 3 times within the span of like 3 weeks. So I definitely think that there's a good enough amount of characters. I like the variety. I just want to keep seeing them be more creative. That's all. Don't reuse.
Recycle. Got it. What about you, Static? How you feeling about it?
So I like that, like you said, there is a variety. However, I think I want to point out more of the cons when it comes to the spacing talk. Well, I'm sorry. I want to talk about the spacing and the issue with spacing that you're saying there is when we talk about the cons. So I'll just come back to me on that. But
all right,
when it comes to each characters, like the archetypes, I think there's something that answers for most people. However, I feel as though Ari definitely speaks to me in the play I like to play in Marvel 3. However, I feel like her changes didn't really translate well for me at the moment. However, I still have to get the lab in there. But then the problem is I'm trying to look for what's, dare I say, optimal. And that's my problem. Like, I shouldn't just look for optimal. I should look for, eventually I'll look for optimal. Mezza, stop staring at me and telling me that
I'm not in disagreement.
Tell you your exact. No, I know.
I'm not.
But I actually have to put it into practice so that when I'm taught what's optimal, I can actually do it, rather than just guessing how I should do it or whatever, or doing a bad Vi combo that you don't like seeing me do.
It's true.
It's okay. Yeah, I know, but I really like the setup. It's so cool. Just mixing people up. I love mixing.
Bad.
I don't care.
Static is one that'll go. He will go for steez first. He'll go for steez and style over substance. That's Static's.
And then get wake up level 3.
And then get wake up, drop it, get wake up level 3, and lose the game.
I'm gonna tweet it after this recording. So just know that when those that are listening and watching, obviously, hi, how you doing? When I tweeted, it was as soon as the show ended. Okay. So just know that. You'll be like, oh, the timeline. Yeah. All right.
So character wise, it's feeling good. Now, what about the component that kind of amplifies that, right? Small roster is one thing, but we have something there that helps change how those characters are playing, and that's the fuses, right?
You're gonna go.
So I mean, I'll let you go after this, but the fuses, right? They're giving us a different kind of play style, right? That was really Riot's answer to, the tag fighter 2v2. It's like, okay, 2v2 is fine. You already have like some mixing right there. But how do you further amplify that and let you have like way more ability to have player expression, a variety, the variety that we like in tag fighters, that lets us play in different styles. And also, how do you take the same character and make them play different, right? Like, we've seen it in the past with other games like MKX, right? With the actual variations, like even earlier than that with like styles, right? But variations was the big thing because you were locked into certain ways of playing a character. You didn't have everything, right? Or you had certain things. It might make a character more aggressive, or more defensive, or more mix-up orientated, right? There was all kinds of different ways, and the fuse system has just been that route. has there been any outliers for you guys that you wanted to point out that you appreciate, or do you think overall, I think it's a solid archetype, like a solid system for the game? You can go Static.
Damn, I wasn't ready for you to dive that deep.
you just
I know. I said I'll go
what do
first.
you mean?
But no, it's definitely like it comes from like this aspect that people have. Oh, there's only 9 characters, and then they wanted to complain before even getting their hands on the game. Like I'm sure the people that were still complaining about the roster never went to all 3 evos that the game was at. Never went to wherever the game was, being shown, or never gave it a shot or even watched. And they're just like, but I want everybody who's in the game. And anyway, let me stop there. I think the double combo, or what is it? Double down is obviously really good for like the Marvel, the DHC. The easy stuff is there for that. If you're into the however, the BB tag, that's definitely Mezza's angle. Is not two time. It says freestyle. Yep. Here's the thing. I like and I want to try all these other fuses like freestyle and double down and see what it really brings to the table to the kind of style that I want to play. But I'm also kind of intimidated by it because I'm like, oh, what if I'm gonna miss too much of how I feel when I play on double down, and then I'm already having muscle memory to that, and sort of the way I bait people and try to like use Bionic Arm. I'm gonna call it that because that's what Ringe called it. And using that on like a whiff super. So it definitely, I have to look at how I really want to play the game and how I want to control it. So
do you feel it's like overwhelming? Do you feel it's overwhelming that you're like, you're used to some style, like you said, like double down and like jumping ship to another one? Is it almost the same as like trying to learn a new character? Do you get like that kind of feeling from it, or is it more because it's like a core mechanic in terms of whatever character you play?
I think yes and no, but then I also think that there are just characters that thrive with specific fuses. I mean, so like I think that's definitely where the game is going to go. Like you're going to see a lot of people say, oh, he's using Echo on double down. I don't think that's good because Echo really shines in like freestyle or 2-time assist. And then you have like Juggernaut where it's like, oh, you definitely want to use Darius or Braum on Juggernaut or even Blitzcrank. Yeah. So like there's definitely a way, but then there's Sidekick where it's like Sidekick I think is definitely more suitable for 2 people that are duo that's playing, especially when you can take advantage of like having some of the damage that's in a combo. I don't know if you can do that on single player you can Sidekick?
You can do Sidekick stuff if your second character is dead, whether it's double down, freestyle, or 2x assist.
But like on defense when you're getting hit, you can half damage. You can like mash.
There's only Sidekick that can allows you to do that.
No, it's only Sidekick,
which is weird because you already get a reduction of 25%.
But your teammate can also mash in order to reduce damage on those combos.
Yeah, we don't have that in anything else.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if that's available to a person that's only using Sidekick by themselves. So obviously, I think that's more suitable for it is. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's something that I discussed when I was playing at Evo with someone. It was like, oh, what if we use Sidekick and then you feel like you know this matchup more and you saw something that they might know. Let's switch it up and you play and then I'll assist for you and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, that's something that I think has not been sort of looked through. And I hope that we get to see more tournaments of 2v2s actually happening, but it has to be interesting because we have people. I'm real quick. We have so many people that are entering like singles tournaments, and like the duos aren't really. I feel like it's not. Yeah, that's Oh, Mezza, he's got a face.
Well, I think first of all we're gonna get to that because I think Riot has a really good way of like making the duo thing happen. But Mezza, what to your point on how you feeling on fuses? What's the deal?
Jeez, fuses are. I think there's something for everybody. I'll start with that. Like I'll dabble in anything. Obviously I've dabbled in Juggernaut, I've dabbled in Sidekick, I've dabbled in. The only thing I haven't done is 2x assist because I think personally 2x assist is very, very straightforward. And if you understand the other assist, it's just adding an additional assist. It's no different, right? It's freestyle without having to do the switch back and forth. You just do it twice. For me personally, I like the fuses. It reminds me of CVS2, Capcom vs. SK2. It is just grooves, man. It's grooves. not every groove is going to be good. Not every groove is going to fit every character. Not every groove is going to fit you. Good example, Sakura is phenomenal in A groove, right? But she's not the best in K groove. So I feel like when you look at this game, characters like Jinx, insanely strong in Double Down, but she's pretty strong in 2x assist, but she's pretty bad by herself in Juggernaut. So like there's a lot of different, it's almost like ratios too. So there's a lot of little nuances that go into it. And I don't think people should discourage anyone from playing other styles, but I think find what works for you first and then dabble.
Absolutely.
I saw a quick post, or I don't know where it was, but somebody was like, oh, actually the fuses are just from different games. So it's like, oh, do you want to use Sidekick? That's Mortal Kombat X or Mortal Kombat 1 with the assist, with just assist character. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good take. And then, the other ones are BB Tag or like Skullgirls or Marvel Infinite for Double Down at least.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm not really surprised, right? Team being, made up of veterans of the game. They definitely are taking inspiration from all over. And it's kind of like what the core of the game is. It's meant to be accessible for everyone. And to some degree though, it's also very dangerous because when you're trying to make a game for everyone, you end up making a game for no one. I don't think that's really the case here. I think it's done very well. It's been getting some great receptions. I mean, it's just some additional positives to really add to it. We've all here been able to play each other online, and I think it's been very minimal. I think the worst we've ever had was like maybe +2 rollback frames or something like that. We're talking across the pond to East Coast. Like I played, when we played and had our session as a right. The only other time it ever spiked above that, there was just like, I think it was an issue on my end, to be perfectly honest. I think I just had like a weird client issue that once refreshed, it went away. But the online has been good. I haven't heard really complaints about it.
Could it be because it's still closed though?
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's still like, I don't think it's full, it's not full ingest, right? That's really, the test will happen October 7th when we're actually in early access and season 0 starts, right? We'll get into more details on that later. We'll really see the stretch of things, but this was what it was supposed to be, which was to kind of start opening the gates a little, right? It's like the meme, open the gates, close the gates, open it a little bit, is what's going on here. But I think the netcode has done very, very well, which is great because it's made a lot of online tournaments just happen. And really, I honestly cannot hear, I have not heard anyone really even go nuts about the netcode or had any problems with it. Like, as long as you're playing in the right region, I think you should be fine. But, some use case may vary.
So I did play a friend who lived in Florida, and I played him on Wi-Fi. Perfectly fine. We didn't even notice anything. I was like, oh, there's no hiccups. Cool.
Yeah, I think it's been overall like a really good experience. With the fuse system and the characters, even in the simplicity of the controls. I mean, it takes a little bit of time to get used to, but that's any fighting game. At first, it was a little bit irritating for me. I'm not gonna lie. There was definitely some things to get used to. But funny enough, we're early enough that people are still figuring things out, and there's gonna be some mechanics that are gonna become more and more prevalent. Just like even in other modern fighting games, like Street Fighter 6. Like, if y'all remember the early days, like we weren't thinking of parry as hard. But now, like, has the game developed and how important, like, perfect parry, even with perfect parry, it's like kind of tweaks, right, that they've had. It's a big piece in just some matches that have already happened that have been decision makers, right? Like, where you can only actually, if you perfect parry on this frame, like, is like your optimal punish, and that has happened before in certain matches where it's been the decider. The game will eventually do that as well, but we're still very much getting into it. Just like we're getting into this quick ad break. We'll be right back after this quick break, guys. We jump back and we've got some more things to talk about 2x KO future. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back. We're tagged back into it. 2x KO basically review episode this week. We just went over some of the positives. Yeah, with the handshake and all. With some of the positives and all that we've had with the game. We've had it in our hands for a little bit. Let's talk about on the other side of that court, just some of the things that could be done a little bit better, right? Like, it's not coming out perfectly, but I think it's a good strong start. But let's go over some of the things the game needs some tweaks on. For me, I think my biggest gripe so far, and I don't want to say just gripe, but just it's early on. This game is very highly anticipated, right? A lot of people are looking into it. They're looking to play it. People both in and out of traditional fighting games are making it their first fighting game to start off. And, they're making it accessible, and that's great and all. The biggest thing for me, though, has just kind of been some of just the interactions in the game don't feel as polished in certain areas. Once again, early access bit, I get it. Season 0, sure. But it's like when we're already at the point where we're talking tournaments, like officially supported tournaments with Riot, right? At a certain state, like that's them basically putting the flag saying like, hey, we will support what this game is at a competitive level. It should meet that bar. But there's just certain things that for me are just like weird interactions. Also some weird bugs that are still there. Like, I don't know if you guys have gotten the float dude in the middle during your match where he's just like, it's a lobby character and they're just like transparent in the middle. Like, I don't know why, but he just stays in the background of whatever stage you're on. Yeah, it's a known thing. It happened to me once and I found out on Twitter, like it happens a lot. But besides that, for me, it's things like, I was talking to you about this before, Static, is like when I burst bait, the biggest headache I've had is like following up on it. Like sometimes I get these weird interactions where I'm trying to 2H the character, they're coming to me. I 2H and it just like whips. Or sometimes my character does a weird turnaround and they just like throw the button the wrong way. Like I don't know where the hitbox detection side select is happening, but like it's happened more often than not that I just like get to have no reward for actually having the smart play. I must be playing some other kind of fighting game. But yeah, stuff like that is like what kind of sets me back a little bit at times and knocks me back into like, oh, this game still needs some tweaking. But for it to be like put on a level where it's like being sponsored and being put out to like a bunch of tournaments is like, it's kind of weird that like, some of these interactions that could also be, once again, these could be match determining like situations, like could still be allowed to exist.
I actually could answer that a little bit, but I'll also go into my own gripes too. One, I think it's like something weird where because they're floating in the air and they already use the wall bounce, the closer they get to the ground, they almost accelerate. So I think they're accelerating going down faster, which is very weird. I agree. Yeah. That is I've had trouble probably punishing consistently. But yeah, it is a weird thing. You have to find a weird timing, especially if you're really close against the wall. That's where the interaction becomes really awkward. Bursting them low at the ground. Sometimes even if you burst bait and they do it like too late, you don't even get anything. So I don't know. Yeah. It's really wonky. I think that's a big part of the game. I think is kind of awkward. But no.
Awkward. That's exactly that's the word I would use. It's awkward in some fucking areas.
Bad.
It's like going to your first dance. You don't really know what you're doing. Like, how do you talk to the girls or something? And you're like, you're a little too. I feel like that's what's going on with 2X. It's at the dance and it's just trying to You can't 2X scale. It can't even 2-step right now, kind of deal. So it's kind of fumbling on some fundamentals.
You know what it is? It's when you and your best friend, instead of doing high fives, one does a fist bump to a high five. It's just that.
I got somebody that does that to me, and every time they do it, I want to just clock them in the throat. I'm like, yo, you need to stop. Like they'll go like this, and then at the last minute they'll do this, and I'll be like, yo, I'm gonna fucking sock you like in a second. Stop doing that. That's weird. Yeah, it feels like that. Yeah. It feels weird. I know.
So the gripe I have right now, I think is kind of a unanimous thing, is there's things that are very unscaled and things that are very scaled in damage wise. So one, I think Fury is insanely broken and people are not exploring it enough. They don't have combos for it. I also think that it lasts way too damn long. I think Fury is way too long. I think that can be changed, but outside of that, scaling on throws are kind of insane. I don't know what they were thinking. So it's not like I have to guess back throw or forward throw. I just need to guess throw. So it's
just get throw. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like I'm always in my head. I'm like, I could get thrown and die. So it's fine. Okay. Then there's also when you do actually get somebody, get the reversal break, it's like all the damage is scaled because you already have a limiter that's already been used. So you can't even do a ground bounce. You have to do alternative like routes, which is still scaled. So yeah, I think they need to figure out where they want to go with that. But outside of that, I think my only really other big gripe, I hate the menu. The menu needs to change, man. It is so awkward to navigate.
Even the pause
especially on stick. On stick, it's pretty daunting. Like, I actually rather just use keyboard and mouse to move around. Figuring out friends, invites, all that stuff. It's a little everywhere, and I get it. It is going to start getting better, I would imagine. But right now, there's just too much menuing. Progression system, this, that. I'm like, I just want to sometimes press the button and go into the game.
Like, what is this? Multiverses? No, actually, to add to your burst part, one other thing, because you just reminded me. I think also advantage on burst is insane.
Oh my god!
Like the amount of time you literally can burst, you full screen and hold dash, and if you get bursted, you literally can't even press a button. Like, they just get advantage. Like, they just take their turn from full screen.
You know the rule, right?
Dog, that is crazy. Like,
the rule is
what's the rule?
Keep in mind, Fury gives you faster speed, so it is X Factor.
Yeah,
so
true. There is also that. Absolutely.
I don't mind people the speed of break because I'm gonna check you every time you do something. But characters like Yasuo, Echo, who are in my face after popping Fury and are just like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I wanted to press a button, bro. I can't parry because that's scary. I can't block. Why should I block?
Yeah.
I'm going to take the hit. That's going to be less damaging to my mental.
Time to guess. Let's go gambling.
Yeah, it's a little
basically
ridiculous.
what goes down. What about you, Static? What's your biggest gripe you have so far with the game itself?
It goes to the spacing talk we were talking about earlier. The screen feels too small. Like, why? Here's my question.
Small? I've heard the opposite. I've heard it was too wide.
That's great and all. That's great and all. But if you use an assist, that screen ain't moving.
Oh, you're talking about where the screen locks, yeah.
If I'm running away, I want to run away. But let's say Darius says, hey, Jinx, you want to shoot him? All right, cool. Jump on in. And I'm like, and I'm trying to dash back. Stop. If you're going to make backdashing easier, make it worth something. Because it's almost instantly where it's like, Darius is coming in. Oh, my mic was a little bit too loud. My bad. I'm like, Darius is coming in. Here he comes. He's swinging. But do I block this fire? Too late. And this is too late. And you're like, oh, he's in. And now he gets to grapple me. By the way, didn't notice until yesterday that the headbutt was an overhead. That was a fun discovery. And
it's a guessing game. But whenever, real quick, for any of you cats playing Darius, if you ever see him do the swing, just parry that. Like, it's pretty parryable. So you just stop him before you make him. Makes him.
There's a gap
before he makes you guess.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because you can parry. Yeah.
So
if you see him do the swat, like that whole, like, he pulls you in the that's the what's that called? It's not capture. It's attain, I think, or whatever. That's the move. When he does that, just parry it. Like, it is very very parryable.
I think Vi can Vionic.
She can as well.
Sure, but you can also waste all that meter.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's your choice.
I almost always have meter. I'm always getting beaten up. So
okay, so screen lock with assist is just like really weird.
I can't stand it because it's just like, yo, wait. It really does lock you in because it's like that fireball's on screen. What do I want to do against the rocket while this character is also jumping in on me that I have to hold the rocket, hold the crouch or I, the 50-50 mix.
You could just perfect parry the rocket.
I could.
Perfect parrying the rocket also pushes the main character away, right?
Okay,
It creates.
You mean push
block? Yeah, and you can also push.
Push block myself into the corner because the assist is still out there.
Yeah. Let me just state this real quick. Whenever you parry a projectile, it is different than parrying a physical attack, because if you parry a projectile, all you're doing is parrying the projectile itself. You are not inducing blowback or anything to even the first or the second character. So this is something we found out. Nope, we found this out. If you ever watched the Teemo video, this is a good example. Without me having to tell anybody, if you look at the Teemo trailer, when he goes to parry the super beam for Jinx, it doesn't blow her back. It doesn't do anything. He actually gets to do a full jump in. The thing is, even if you do that to a regular move, a regular special move, it doesn't blow anybody back. There has to be a physical attack that comes. So that's what's been plaguing the game. I'll talk about that a whole nother time. But there is a weird situation that doesn't allow us to kind of parry and do more parrying. We actually lose out on the parry situation.
Interesting. Well, we'll see how that ends up developing a bit more. All right. So besides that, you got any other footnotes?
Gripes? Not really. Like, I think Fury is kind of all right, and I think the dashing is what makes it go shorter. But again, I don't think there's not a lot of people that are using Fury in its fullest extent, like you're saying. But I think they don't have to even use the dash because, holy cow, if you get the hit, I mean, ta-da, you win, GG.
Yeah, a lot of damage. Like Fury is like, if you were to give it an X Factor level, are we talking? It's not a 1. I would say it's like a 2.5.
I
don't think it's a 3 though.
I think
it's like an X Factor level 3. I think it's like a 2.5.
I think the movement's a 2. I think the damage is a 3.
Okay,
I could see that.
Not even in Juggernaut
speed is 3. No, speed is not the speed in next factor. It's kind of crazy. So let me stop.
That shit is wild.
But to go off, damn it, I just had it. Oh, the meter usage. I don't know if I agree with how much meter is used for certain mechanics.
Like for parries and such.
Parry uses a full bar, right?
Yeah, but you get it back if you perfect parry.
Right, cool. Yeah,
and a little bit more.
Reward. But what about the DP for everyone? How much
the wake
is
up
that
DP?
using?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Wake up DP.
That's just there for every character.
So
if you press, everyone gets a wake up. That's all. But you can bait it by like neutral jump though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, my thing that I tend to do is like I'll like if I knock down and I crouch low to kind of like force a roll or something, it gives me enough frame. It's enough timing for me to then be able to neutral jump. So if you roll forward, I can call an assist. But if I'm neutral jumping and you don't roll and you expect to wake up, like you just clear it completely. And then you just punish afterwards.
Okay, well, cool. And there's a gripe that's that, and I think that's what's good is like when it comes to discussing the game is to discuss your gripes about it so you can find how to solve it.
That's how it goes.
Because literally, it's just people that are just rinse repeating everything they think they're supposed to be doing.
Can I solve this one solution for people? Because I need them to understand. Yeah. Okay, fine. Let them suffer more, man.
What you got?
It's not a gripe for me, but I think it's primarily a gripe for the community that they have to just kind of get past. And I think it's good for new players because it's really simple, straightforward. So look, the whole Jinx beam, double down assist, and tag, switch. People have to get used to that, right? The reason why I say that it's
cheap.
It's cheap, yes. It's destructive, yes. You need to find options around it. I'm not going to tell you every single option, but I'm going to tell you one thing that you need to understand. There was this little game called BB Tag. We had a character that didn't require meter to put a big screen, full screen beam on the screen. You could not do anything. If you jumped, you got DP'd and you got fully comboed because guess what? DPs were unblockable in the air. Guess what? If you stayed on the ground, you got mixed into a full combo and you died. So in this game, I think there's way better options. Yes, parry is an option. Yes, actually jumping in this game is an option. You may get mixed if it's Joss or Echo. That's your choice or whether you want to. But I do think people need to realize a lot of the stuff that's to come is going to be scarier. We haven't seen half of it yet. If you're looking at what's happening now, Alawi is kind of like the next meta. She is just as scary. And if you think that beam assist is scary, wait until you start seeing what they're doing with 2x assist.
Not even just 2x assist. Fuck the tentacles, man. I fought against an Alawi Blitzcrank. That shit was bonkers, man. Just some of the extensions you get off of that, like even just on chip alone. Like I'm starting to see some of the creep up of like the dirty stuff. Like, oh, here's how much chit damage you can get off of this. I'm like, whoa, it's getting gross.
I will say, if I was to give a gripe and I play the character, I think she should only allow one restand tentacle, and that's it. Because I've seen a Darius do 2 combos, do a full combo, and in the combo he got 2 tentacles off for 2x assist, and he slammed them into both of them. And I was like, oh, that's 90%? Was I playing neutral this whole time? No. So yeah, no, I definitely think there's a lot of stuff that can be toned down. Some more scaling on some things, but yeah, if we're gonna allow those things, which I think I love the creativity, you gotta balance it out with like how much insane damage is coming out. I love one tapping people, but or at least 2 tapping, but there has to be more interactions in neutral.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, the neutral interactions, it's really interesting.
That's first.
That's the part. I mean, it's the footsies in the tag. That's the thing, though. The footsies in the tag fighter are obviously going to be different from a traditional fighter. Like, let's just be very, very clear there, right? Like the footsies that you play in a Marvel game are not the same kind of footsies you play in a Street Fighter game. They're just not. Our kinds of footsies has to do with assists. In this game right now, what I see a lot is it's like the assists are obviously a big component for sure, but like, man, like it is really like, I thought I got over the very lame backdashing like gameplay that we saw by the end of like Alpha Lab 2 that was causing timeouts and, you know, causing situations like fucking, you know, like the iPhone like not playing a match just because he's like, well, you know, the most optimal thing is for me not to play because he's just going to be able to backdash and call assists, and like I can't do anything about it. I don't want to give him more burst, right? Like, makes sense. I'm starting to kind of creepily see that right now where it's like backdash, assists, wait for it to refresh, backdash, assists until it comes back. And I'm like, yo, that's annoying as fuck, bro. Like how do you counterplay that? Like, you can't. Not all the time anyway. You have to, you know, crack people open, which is fine. But unless you have, you know, with some characters, it's just really hard to do, right? Like, not everyone is a mixed character. Not everyone is an Echo or a Yasuo, right? To give you that ability to do so. But I find that as like some bad habits, but it's not even habits, but because they're just exploitable situations, right, that the game allows to happen. But it's early on, you know, it might be something we might see a change in when they do some alterations as the game proceeds and grows, and especially when more characters are introduced, right? Like it's always about, you know, what the options the characters have. It isn't just only about like the universal options of the mechanics. It is about the characters you play at the end of the day. But with that, we're actually going to take a quick break once again. We'll be right back after this, guys. And we're going to be talking about the future of 2X Scale with the announcements coming up, what Riot has in store for us, and if they're doing things right. That'll be like kind of like our final conclusion on things here before we wrap up the episode. But to go anywhere, we'll be right back. All right, and we are back. We've gone through our positives, our gripes with the game, the current play style, but let's look into something else. 2XKO's future, or what Riot has planned. We've been in this early access, alpha, beta phase. Now we're actually jumping into what has been deemed early access. This has been announced. It's actually starting October 7th, actually just a couple of days, like right under a week, where we get to just wipe the slate clean. Everything that you have gotten now at this point will be thrown away. You've got the One Punch Man skin and RE green skin, so you can kind of be like Saitama and I forget the Psychic Girl's name in the anime, but that's what my team rocks. I'm gonna have to re-get those colors anyway afterwards. But it comes with some good things. We're gonna be getting some additional skins. There'll be permanent unlocks moving forward, so you don't have to worry about resets going on from there. And Season 0 leads into 2026's 5-season roadmap with new champs and passes coming up. So that means we finally got an answer, right? We got a final answer on how many characters are they going to be planning on releasing. I believe it said it was supposed to be a character per season. I could be wrong there. I could be actually misreading that. But last I heard is it should be one per. But I don't think that's right because it feels like there should be more characters than more than 5 a year. It's kind of wild. That just feels like a regular season, right? For like a traditional fighting game, like Battle Pass. Like we're talking 4 to 5, maybe, in a year.
It does, but the crazy part is the fact that they have 5 seasons already prepped, and I think people didn't realize that. I think they were expecting like a normal fighting game where they're like, yeah, season 1 we're gonna get like 2 characters or 1 character, and season 1's going to consist of like 5 months. You know what I mean? Like Marvel Rivals, I think, set a good example of like, yeah, season 1 got like a bunch of characters, but like it was panned out kind of nicely, where you kind of kept playing the game and then you were like, oh, new characters coming, cool, let me gear up for that, even if you took a week off. I think if they do it right, the time frame for those seasons will feel very comfortable. I personally like the way League does the release of characters, and they've gotten faster over the course of years. So I as I've said before, I think characters right now is not the problem with the game. I think there's other issues, and as characters come out, we're gonna see more issues getting exploited.
Yeah, because it's addicting as hell.
Yeah.
Could be.
Just wait until skins come out.
So basically, with the seasons and all coming out, all right, cool. We get some more champs. That's awesome. We get some skins. I'm gonna say it here for just the Vi community. I don't know why they picked that ridiculous ass skin to be shown off. That is like a pretty. Listen, all love to my colleagues and all in Riot, but damn, bro, like y'all really picked a hell of a skin to try to promo here. They could have gone with like even the arcane joint. That would have been fire.
That's her Neon Racer one, man. Yeah.
This is a neon joint, like, bro. Don't get me wrong.
I think I've
seen a lot of league skins, and there's some fire league skins. That one ain't one of the ones on the list that I normally see.
You got to preserve the good for when the time's right? Like Ari got her whack ass skin that I even own. That'll, once that's gone, they're probably maybe they're doing a theme, future themes, and they're trying to get all the skins that they can't really mix together well out now, because there's not many Neon Racer outfits and Ari's Dynasty outfit. There is a set, but surprised her.
Yeah. Are there any skins? I'm about to say, are there any skins you want to see for your characters? If you know any of your characters, because I'm really talking like static, really, because I'm pretty sure I know you got some.
I'd love to see.
You want to see
for Yasuo. I'd love to see a Roni Kenshin type style or Samurai X for those of you.
But they're gonna pull from like their vault though of skins. Have you seen the skins that Yasuo has?
No, I haven't seen anything. I know nothing except for the fact that that skin for Vi is ugly. Why do they think that they would put a skin colored like side boob there? Like when you look at it from far away, you're like distracted. I'm just saying.
It just
looks like Tracer, but it's not.
Yeah, it didn't vibe with me. I know Mezza definitely's got some skins. You know what? We're gonna take you through the skin haul static, and we'll see which ones you'll want to see in the future. That'll be for a separate video.
Yeah. The GIF that I saw on the Reddit of the picture is the kid from Tales. Was it Tales of the Fourth Grade? Nothing. No, it's the other one. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, where he's like waving and he double takes.
yeah.
Sorry.
What?
It's so good.
All right, so season 0, like we said, it breaks off into multiple seasons for 2026, which is awesome. It does include things like rank resetting in between seasons, which yes, thank you. I have been asking for this. Street Fighter kind of does it with like the legend ranks and shit, right? Like you actually do reset and you have to get yourself back into it, but not like a total reset. I like the idea of maybe you get a couple of boosts, right? Like if you are really high ranked, you get a couple of maybe additional boosts in terms of rank, so you don't like have to start at iron every single time or anything like that. Kind of like set like in Hearthstone, right? You have a certain amount of stars, so like really your legend players start in, I don't know what the ranks are, like 2 or 1 or like in 3 or something like that, so like that's where the real tryhards are when the season starts.
Yeah.
That now ring a bell for you?
I mean, I'm okay with it. Refresh everybody, bro. Don't ever let people just rock. I mean, I think people have already had too much time to grind. I personally feel bad for console players because they didn't even get a chance to be a part of that, and I don't know if they're really going to get a chance to be a part of this, and there's not going to be a reset for that. That kind of sucks. Maybe they'll have separate leaderboards for just PlayStation 5, which I think would be perfectly fine to do, or Xbox or whatever else it comes out on Switch, whatever. I didn't even get to see the skins I wanted, but I just want 2 skins, bro. I just want Firecracker Jinx. That's all I want. That one.
Firecracker. Isn't that the Chinese New Year's looking joint?
Yeah, so I gotta wait till Chinese New Year.
Oh, okay.
So I got a while. And then obviously I gotta call my mans out. I need my Teemo Omega Squadron Teemo, bro. If I can't get Omega Squad Teemo, I don't want to play the game anymore with Teemo.
Are you gonna play Teemo?
Yes. I used to play Teemo top as that was I got raided at one point by a search as Team Liquid search as for 30,000 people because of that. And they were like, yeah, we want you to play Nasus. I was like, I'm in the middle of a Teemo game, guys. You're going to have to wait. Somebody gave me $15. They're like, do whatever you want with it, but we'd love for you to get Teemo Squad, Squadron Teemo. And I was like, yeah, I'm getting Omega Squad Teemo. Why wouldn't I? And that's $15 I was.
It's a little bit lower there.
Yeah.
All right. I can appreciate that. Teemo top. That is so toxic.
Yeah, I don't know anything about League.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, you don't.
Not the game. It's just it's some of these character picks are like Satan themselves when you have. The game.
So
it's so bad.
Funny thing about Teemo, I know nothing about League, but from driving our friend Katsu's many times to Mezza's house, I was described to about Teemo. Oh yeah, he goes, yeah, Gabe, all I do is hide in the bushes and I throw mushrooms and I throw like arrows at people and I scare them. And then they come to the grass and then I'll go somewhere else. And I'm like, that sounds really annoying.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's about right.
Yeah. Again, this is like 10 years ago. I have no idea.
Has not changed. Has not changed
Okay.
at all.
Great.
So
down the road. Right.
So
Go on.
yeah, down the road. But yeah, balancing, fuse balancing as well, right? Which is really sick. So like the fuses will get tweaked as the game proceeds, as naturally as it should. And you know, once again, with the champs that are being added, the game looks like it's gearing up, right? Like pretty well, especially for that early access. And love that the progression stays the same. You get to keep your stuff. Cool. Dude, absolutely good point out on that, Mezza. Like console players are kind of getting a little bit of the short end of the stick. I mean, sure, you can always still join on PC. It is cross progression. So whatever you do on the PC will transfer over to your account when you log into it on the console, right? So there is like a little bit of middle ground. But once again, not everybody has a PC available to them that they can use, you know, to actually play the game and all. So it's like the longer they wait on the console side, I think they're not going to end up like in a great spot. But I'm sure they're working on it really hard to get everybody in, because also just crossplay in general. Like you kind of want to get that tested and kind of get it working. The last thing you want is to execute on console only for it to like implode on itself. I forget who did. Was it Fighters that did that? Right? Was it that one patch where they like did the rollback netcode, or they just tried to make a network type of crossplay and then it just like the game just went trash?
Street Fighter 5, Tekken 8. Oh my god, Tekken 7 I believe is well. Tekken 7 was better, but Tekken 8 was bad. Oh, Tekken 7 was pretty freaking bad. They actually hated it. They're like, yeah, why can't I just like I don't want to fight any more people. Like Wi-Fi wasn't even a problem anymore.
Yeah, because you couldn't even turn it off, right? Yeah, I think I remember. But yeah, other added things like trials, right? Trials, beginner, intermediate, advanced, and expert trials are going to be in there. So it's like, once again, like, sure, finding the tech online is great. Which, by the way, one of my favorite sites that have come up is findyourtech.gg. Awesome freaking site. It just literally, you can filter your main character and your partner, and it'll just bring up all the tagged clips on Twitter and such, or on X, that have to do with your characters, and like consolidates it so that way you don't have to like hashtag search all over. Really awesome. They don't just do it for 2XKO. I believe they do it for other games, but 2X has kind of been like the go-to game for me to use that for. So
what was it called?
Pretty dope. Findyourtech.gg. Yeah, it's pretty dope. But yeah, having trials is going to be great because it's going to be able to, you know, for the people that have been jumping on and wanting to learn, I don't have to tell them like, oh yeah, look up, you know, I have to go and look for the combo or something like that, or the notation. It's just going to be there in the game when it opens up, which is great because that's when the most amount of people are going to be coming in, and they're going to want to know how to do the cool combos, because they don't want to get comboed the entire time. They want to put some pain on the other side. And of course, the other thing that's kind of biggest thing that you can do for fighting games is the tournaments. The tournament scene itself. How is Riot going to deal with the tournament scene? Is it just going to be all Riot specific stuff? Well, we don't know about the specifics there in terms of what Riot internally is going to do. But we do know that they have 22 sponsored tournaments already on the list as what they're deeming First Impact. So First Impact are all the community ran tournaments that they are officially supporting with prize pots, not only just for the tournament itself, but also a very cool way to kind of emphasize that duo play. Where if you win one of these tournaments as a duo, you actually get an additional, I think it's like 2,500 to the prize pot itself. So you get a little bit of extra money. This is all in USD, of course, to the existing pot for that tournament. So your homie that you dragged out to the tournament can have a little bit of cash to send home with. But yeah, they have a full list of tournaments, with the first one that's coming up, and of course being Evo France, October 10th to the 12th. And then other tournaments like DIY Bonus Track, Defino Mezza KO. First Attack making it out its way out in PR. Shoutouts to Mono for that, as well as many others. I think it's a good list. TNS is also getting some love in December for that.
Online, yep.
And then there's Black Quest as well, things like the Christmas Clash. There is quite a bit of tournaments from all over the place that you can jump on, which is great. Get that representation from all over the place, and yeah, they're just really pushing on the grassroots, which is what they should be doing from the beginning. I didn't really have a doubt in that. It would be really terrible if they try to just wanted to keep it all internal. That's just not how fighting games are. And I think there's enough people on that team to recognize that and ensure that it was actually going to be moving forward in the correct manner. But yeah, so besides that, I mean, the game overall, I think, has been a pretty good, strong start. As we get more characters in, as we get some of these tweaks and changes to the game itself, I think it's going to be put into a really good spot. Once console players also jump in, I think it's going to just blow up in terms of the amount of competition that we're going to have, which is going to be great. But I think overall, for me, I think we'll go around the room here. But for me, I say 2XKO, if I were to give it a rating out of 5 right now, I will give it a solid, and I'll be critical here, 3.75 out of 5. It's almost a 4. I think there needs to be enough tweaks once we get more characters and the game fleshes out, because it's still very early, right? We're still learning a lot. I think the game will be in a much better place, especially if they continue to support as they expected to support. I think it's going to be great, but there are some potential perils, right? Like some of the gameplay that you see as the meta, it seems a little bit annoying. It needs to kind of grow a bit to see how we can get around it. And then I think that's when we'll start breaking away from some of these like just really crappy situations when it comes to the game. But that's what I'm feeling. What about you, Mezza? How are you feeling as a tournament goer, as the person who's been going to the most tournaments in this group right now? How are you feeling about the game? And give it a score for us.
I feel like the game is really volatile. It's fun, but it's volatile. For some, it may not be fun. I think the game has to strike a good balance. Maybe it's the characters that will help, but I think obviously, like we said, a lot of the issues that it has needs to be worked on. I think we need to make it so that the game is more functional, so that even when we do throw it on console, there's less to do. Truthfully, I just want to see if they come out with more fuses, because I think that's the next step after more characters. But yeah, realistically, I think the game's at a, I kind of want to say it's at a 3.5 in between 4. Like I guess kind of like a 3.8, like 3.75, whatever you want to say. I think the game has a lot of work to be done. I think the graphics are still being polished, that need to be polished more. I think it's in a good spot. It can get better, but I mean, it depends on what they really want to do in the retrospect of things in the future.
All right. Good, solid. What about you, Static? As I think the more casual of us, I think I'm more casual than you right now, but you know, you're not hitting as many tournaments and all, but you've been diving in, you've been checking it out. Like, how are you feeling about the game? What do you rate it as right now?
I think a 0.25. No, I'm just messing with. I'm just messing with. I'm just messing with your grading scale, because it was like, it's kind of how like the wrestling type of scores that were going on with the star ratings. Anyway, I like where you're going.
Always finds a way to put wrestling into every episode. I swear to God.
Shut up. No, so I think I like the fact that you gave it sort of like a, for me, 3.75 out of you. Like 1 out of 5. It's sort of like a good, not perfect. Like game happened. If you guys listen to Steven Larson, how they're like the star ratings are like, oh, the match happened, you know. But like, I mean, I get that, but again, it's also benefit of the doubt. Yes, it's a soft launch type deal, but again, they did have 3 years to work on it. And again, it's not the largest team. It's also a free game. So I don't know how budgeted. You know, there's
how much
that
carries against a game that you're going to pay $60 for.
Right,
you look at it completely different.
And how completely different are we going to look at it next year? So I'd say for the launch right now and where it's at, actually, and for the playability that it has offline and online, and accessibility. I mean, you can go to your locals and play it there, even if you don't have a PS4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I say 4.25, because it has the player base of a game that does have everything you need in what is expected of a fighting game today. Whereas you have Fatal Fury, which I'd give that a 2.
Damn.
Yeah, I think that game has failed the community harshly, because the first betas were great, and we told them what the problems were, and they never did anything with it. They gave us Salvatore at WrestleMania, which was great. I think Salvatore is a meme and it's awesome. But all those people there at WrestleMania saw the logo in the middle of the ring, and they probably thought, Street Fighter. And if they think, Street Fighter, you could easily say, hey, the DLC for Street Fighter characters are coming soon. That'd be coming down the aisle. And then people are going to be like, I want to buy that. And they're free? I didn't know that too. So all I have to do is buy your game? Great. Now, get it. Granted, 2XKO is also free. And these characters are also free. And this beta is also free if you're on PC. And like you said, the trials are coming too for the people that are going to get it on consoles as well. So like, there are incentives for everyone. And they're obviously constantly working on the game. Fatal Fury is quiet. But like,
I think
Joe came out
way.
and I don't even remember or know if he is even out.
Yeah, that's kind of rough.
Well,
That's kinda
remember,
rough,
they
right?
did just acquire another company, probably connected to them, just acquired, 2K, well, EA. So
EA has been, acquired, yes. So that's the comparison of how I would grade it because of, like you said, accessibility and things. And I think this
Gotcha.
is definitely addressing how and what the FGC needs. Now, granted, I think that there also needs to be a bit more of a player, maybe a player testing more of what might be annoying or less annoying. Because honestly, every time I get a hit with Yasuo, I kind of feel guilty inside.
You should.
why?
However,
hate
but
yourself.
then as soon as I finish the combo, I'm like, yeah, that was kind of good. That was kind of nice. You gotta hold that L, and I'm gonna keep this match going. I literally said that in somebody's big old rant in the comments. I'm like, I do feel guilty, but I feel really great because I just took that win for you, so I don't care.
Okay. I mean, hey, I can't hate on that either. If it gives you what you want, then it did its job.
What do they say? To beat the man. Beat him. Stop it! It's a Ric Flair reference. Wrestling, baby.
That's definitely
Always.
a wrestling. That's definitely a wrestling reference. All right. So, questions for you guys, the viewers, the listeners out there. After the beta, are you more excited or more skeptical about 2XKO heading into October? That's what I want to hear from you guys. Now that you've had a chance to experience it, or more of you have had a chance to experience it, are you more excited for the game, what the plans are, or really now that you've actually sat down and seen where it's already being developed? Is it going in the direction you like, or are you a bit more skeptical on what Riot is able to bring to the table there? Let us know. Make sure to tag us, especially if you're going to post it up, your answers. But we will have this up in our Discord as well as on our social medias and on YouTube, which will then follow up on that on the following episode. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for another episode of Double Tap, more specifically 2XKO edition this week. I hope y'all have enjoyed our little rant here. And that hopefully it's filled some answer some questions, or at least get some ideas as to what you think on the 2XKO train is, the hype train. That is it real? Is it not? We'll just have to wait and see how the game develops. But make sure, if you haven't already, to follow my awesome host here on the show. You can make sure to follow StaticGorilla at StaticGorilla on all social media platforms, as well as on Twitch, where he's still doing regular Marvel tournaments, I'm sure, and you are streaming some 2XKO, right?
Yeah, I was playing yesterday because I have Mondays off, and that's when I'm gonna post that clip of me screaming. So please protect your ears.
Yeah, there you go. Make sure to follow Mezza at Mezza FGC, who is making his way through the online tournament scene. I think that's all you're focusing on, right? I don't think you've actually been streaming anything else.
I've been streaming that, but I'm going back to Crystal Vatland this Saturday. They have their 3v3 teams tournament for $300, so I'm hosting that. They'll be playing in that. Other than that, I've been just mostly streaming this. That's pretty much it.
So if you are a Jinx or a Lowy player, make sure to join in on Mezza's stream to get some of the tech there. You can follow me at Crashtag VS, of course, on social media, but also make sure to just follow the show at Double Tap FGC to get all kinds of updates when a new episode comes out, when some maybe potentially some new videos come out, some matches, things like that. We'll be posting up about it as the game continues on. We'll be making sure to cover it. And like I said, if you want to get involved on our polls or on our questions of the week, make sure to join us on our Discord, doubletap.gg/Discord. Come join our awesome community. Sorry, it took a little bit longer to put out the episode, guys, but much love to everyone in there. We're posting this up. Once again, get your answers and get them in for the next week's episode so we can talk shop about it. Well, we appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. So make sure to check out for a new episode. And in 2 weeks, we're going to be back on regular schedule. But also, like I said, make sure to check out the YouTubes, because I have some rants and maybe some bonus rounds and a couple other things that are going on, because 2X may be going down. but there's a lot of other things happening in the FGC that we're going to be making sure to cover. So make sure to follow us on all social media platforms as well as on YouTube. Once again, at Double Tap FGC. I've been Crash. That's been Mezza. That's been Static.
What up?
And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
Later.